Hey guys, this is Kevin from JazTime.com, and today we'll be doing a comparison between the Rolex Sky Dweller, newly released at the Bezel 2017, shown here on my left in the stainless steel, reference number 326934, and we'll be comparing it against the Rolex Yacht-Master II here on my right, reference number 116680. We'll be going over the pricings, the dials, bezels, case, crown, bracelet, clasp, and we'll talk about the movements toward the end of the video. Alright, so as of January 2018, you can get this Rolex Sky Dweller from authorized Rolex retailer for $14,400 plus tax. Or you can get the Yacht-Master II for $18,750 plus tax. Of course, here at JazTime.com, we always strive to have the lowest prices anywhere online, so give our website a thorough look through before you move forward with your purchase. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the dials now. So specifically for the dial configurations for these watches, the Sky Dweller actually comes in three other colors as well instead of the blue as we have here. It also comes in a white, black, or also rhodium dial, the rhodium being sort of a dark grayish silver look to the watch. The Yacht-Master II only comes in this dial style, which is just the white dial, specifically for the newer updated version of the 2018 and moving forward from 2018. They've actually updated the hands to have a more sportier style hand, which is the Mercedes hand, Mercedes hands, and a triangular 12 o'clock marker. And that's from 2018 onward for the Yacht-Master IIs. But specifically, so this one that we have here is the previous version of the Yacht-Master, which is a blue sword steel hand, as you can see, with the luminous tips for the hour hand and the minute hand, with skeletonization towards the tip of the hand to not block the programmable 10-minute countdown timer on the dial, which is with this 0 to 10. That's a programmable countdown timer. For the Rolex Sky Dweller, we have simple index hands as well, but we have skeletonization towards the tip of the hour hand instead of the minute hand, and that's to not block the off-center 24-hour dial for the tracking of additional time zone. The minute hand and the hour hand with all the hour markers. They are fashioned 18 karat white gold to prevent any tarnishing, and they are luminous filled with a highly legible chromolite display with long-lasting blue luminescence for up to 8 hours. Same can be said about the Yacht-Master II. However, instead of being fashioned in the 18 karat white gold, we have these blue steel fashioned on the hour markers, these square hour markers. Hour markers using the same luminosity as well, that chromolite display with the blue luminescence. Okay. Besides that, the Sky Dweller does have a main seconds hand, whereas the Yacht-Master II has a seconds sub dial at the 6 o'clock position. As you can see, that small little black hand moving around that 60-second scale. The main seconds hand in the center of the Yacht-Master II is for the stopwatch feature on the watch, as noted by the 2 o'clock position chrono pusher and the 4 o'clock position resetter. And I'll quickly show you that here. As you can see, pressing that pusher starts and stops at main seconds hand for the stopwatch feature. Pressing the 4 o'clock pusher resets it back to the 12 o'clock position, and also resets the additional minute hand that's located by the triangular red tip, and that's for as the name states, it's a Yacht-Master and is used for yacht races, so you can track exact lap times or reset lap speeds. Okay. Besides that, the Sky Dweller does come with a date at the 3 o'clock position with a Cyclops lens on top of that sapphire crystal for magnification and easier viewing of that date. Okay, moving on to the bezel now. So both watches has what's called the rotatable ring command bezel, which is a Rolex style bezel that adds additional functions to the crown functions of the watch. Specifically for the bezels themselves, the Sky Dweller has a beautiful 18 karat white gold fluted bezel, and the Yacht-Master II has a Cerachrome blue bezel, which is Rolex's fancy way of saying that it has a ceramic blue bezel, highly scratch resistant, nice flat blue for the bezel itself that patterns very nicely with the blue on the dial and that contrasting with the white. So specifically for the Yacht-Master II, the bezel is bidirectional for both bezels, as you can see as I'll shift it. Okay. And like I said, that's used for the crown functions. Specifically, I'll show you it on the Sky Dollar first. So before we move on to that, we'll talk about the casing first. So for the Sky Dweller, it's more of a dressier watch opposed to the Yacht-Master, which is kind of in between a dress watch and a sports watch. And that can be seen from the lugs of the watch. You can see the Sky Dweller has a nice high polish on the lugs of the case down to even the center, matching off with the bracelet. The Yacht-Master II only has a high polish down to the center to match off with the bracelet, where it has the satin finish on the lugs of the case, as you can see from the bottom as well. It's nice satin finish, brushed steel, high polish on the Sky Dweller. For the case sizing, we're looking at different case sizings. We're looking at a 2mm difference, so 42mm case size for the Sky Dweller, which is from an index finger to my thumb, 42mm in diameter, where the Yacht-Master II has a 44mm diameter case size, which is from an index finger to my thumb here. For the profiles of the watch, we're looking at a larger profile on the Yacht-Master II. And that's because it has the additional complications. The Sky Dweller specifically has the additional complication of that 24-hour off-center dial and the date with the annual calendar. Actually, I did forget to mention that the Sky Dweller does have an annual calendar. At the edges of the watch, you can see these little white square apertures. There's a red one at the 12 o'clock position, and that's the annual calendar, letting you know which month you're in. So the Sky Dweller does have that additional complication of that annual calendar, the date, and the off-center 24-hour dial, whereas the Yacht-Master II is going to be larger because it actually has that sort of chronograph feature, where it's a sort of a stopwatch feature with the flyback function on that main seconds hand being reset back to the 12 o'clock position. Also the programmable 10-minute countdown timer. Also being able to be reset as well, and also just having that programmable 10-minute countdown timer. Besides that, we have nice high polish on the sides of the case. I'll show you the other side as well. Nice high polish on the sides of the case once more. Rolex crown logo on the crown themselves. Specifically, as we move on to the crown functions, I'll show you the Sky Dwellers first. So this functions of the Sky Dweller, unwinding it counterclockwise. We'll put you in the standard position for the screw down twin lock double waterproofness system. So unscrewing it removes that water resistance of 100 meters or 330 feet. But of course, always make sure you screw the crown back in tight against the case to keep that water resistance and keep the crown nice and protected. So in this first position, this is where you can wind the watch from a dead stop. About 15 to 20 winds is all you need to get the watch started once more. Tugging the crown out to the next position. This is the only other position the crown can be in besides that standard position. And as you can see, as I turn the crown, nothing is happening, and that's because the bezel is in a neutral position at the moment. Shifting it over once will activate the functions of the instantaneous changing of the date, as you see there. Very quick, very easy, can go forward or backwards. And the reasoning for the ability to go either forward or backwards is because you have the ability of the annual calendar. Currently, it's at the 1 o'clock position. You can see that red date aperture. Moving it backwards will jump it, of course, backwards to the 12 o'clock position, and moving forward, it's always after the 31st date that it will shift over, as you can see there. Another changing of the command bezel will allow you to use the quick hour jump system, and this is used for tracking of that additional time zone in conjunction of moving the bezel over once more to adjust the hands and that 24-hour off-center dial. Being in this position does stop the seconds hand in the final ring command position and allowing you to set the time. For that 24-hour scale that allows you to track differences between AM and PM. Specifically, the example I like to use is that we want to track the time from London to the Philippines. So you would let's just say we want to use the time of 12:10. Let's say 12 a.m., 12:10 a.m. So we would just move that simply move that off-center dial to 24:10 position. So 24 currently at the sub dial. And at the 10, whoops, we go 24:10. And then we would shift that command bezel over once more, and we can jump that hour hand to 7 hours ahead. So we currently see at 24, 7 hours ahead, just 7:10 a.m. There we are. Very simple, very easy to use. And while in this quick hour jump system, the seconds hand and the minute hand still move independent of the hour hand. So you can, if you're doing things on the fly really quickly, it'll still keep that exact time. So let's just say you fly back to London. Okay, just set it back to the 10. There we are. Or set it back to the 12 o'clock position, and there we are. We don't lose the minute hand. We don't lose the seconds hand timing. All right, once again, always make sure screw that crown nice and tight in against the case. Set the bezel back to the neutral position. For the Yacht-Master II, like I said, it does have the programmable 10-minute feature. We actually have a separate video on our YouTube channel that you can check out how to program that 10-minute timer. That's actually used by the bezel. Like I said, it's a Rolex ring command bezel, and then in this position that it switches onto, you can program that countdown itself. But specifically for the crown functions, it's just very simply unscrewing counterclockwise. The crown itself is a screw down triple lock, triple waterproofness system. In this standard position, you can wind the watch. Same thing as the sky roller, 15 to 20 times is all you need. Tugging the crown out to the final position will allow you to set the hands however you'd like. And of course, screw the crown nice in against the case, as you want to keep the watch water resistant as well. Same water resistance, 100 meters, 330 feet, same thing like the sky roller. Once again, we just want to show you the functions of the chronograph pushes. So once again, at the 2 o'clock position, that will start that central seconds hand for for countdown, or even if you're tracking a lap. And then you can just hit that reset again to bring it back to that 12 o'clock position to start a new timer on that. Of course, you go ahead and stop, set that back to the 12 o'clock position, ready to go. Let's go ahead and talk about the bracelets now. So the bracelets, same style bracelets. We're looking at oyster bracelets with a 3-piece links, nice high polish down the center of the 3-piece links with contrasting of that satin finish on the outer of the 3-piece links. It really brings more out of the shine of the center portion of the bracelet. Same thing could be said about the clasp. Same patterning throughout, and all the way to the other side of the bracelet, you can see that high polish down the center as well. The Yacht-Master II is, like I said, is sort of a hybrid between a sporty watch and a dress watch. So for the sky roller, for a sky roller is more of a dress watch. Most dress watches from the Rolex series always have just a simple folding oyster clasp as shown, whereas the sportier pieces has the safety folding oyster clasp, which is as shown here, the safety, and the folding oyster. Okay, but clasp blades still the same. Nice high polished clasp blades with the Rolex name embossed on there. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the movement of the watches now. So the movement used in the Rolex Sky Roller, it's a newer style movement, is Rolex's in-house made caliber 9001 movement. It's a professional mechanical self-winding movement with the tracking of the dual time zones, as I've shown you with the crown functions, and also the annual calendar as well. The oscillator for the watch is a paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring, which adds additional magnetic resistance for the watch, and also uses a in-house made shock absorbers, Paraflex shock absorbers, which is Rolex's name brand in-house made shock absorbers, the Paraflex. The industry standard shock absorbers is a KIF, but the Rolex made shock absorbers do absorb 50% more shocks than that industry standard. The power reserve of this watch is a 72-hour power reserve, so this watch can be put down on your Friday evening, pick back up on a Monday afternoon, and it'll be keeping time just fine. The Yacht-Master II movement is a 4161 movement specific to the Yacht-Master. It's a perpetual mechanical self-winding regatta chronograph movement. It's a precision of -2 + 2 seconds a day, so within Swiss specs. Has the functions of the center, hour, minute, seconds hand, the programmable countdown with mechanical memory on the fly synchronization, which is the chrono pusher functions, and the triangular tipped programmed minute countdown. The oscillator, same as the Sky Roller, which is a paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring, so it has that nice magnetic resistance against magnetism. But the same power reserve as well, being at 72 hours, so you can put this watch down on a Friday evening, pick it back on a Monday afternoon, and it'll be keeping time just fine. So let's go ahead and show you this watch on my wrist now. So we'll start with the Sky Roller first. So you see this nice folding oyster clasp, opens up as so, fits on very nicely. Okay. And there's a Sky Roller. Absolute gorgeous style. You would think that it'd be pretty complicated with that off-center second style, and just it really actually just fits with the watch. The blue is absolutely gorgeous. That 18 karat fluted white gold bezel. It's just a Rolex staple. It looks beautiful with that high polish on the bracelet matching with it. Let's show you the Yacht-Master II now. So the Yacht-Master II, safety folding oyster. Don't want to be sitting on your yacht and then accidentally having this, having this watch fall off your wrist, right? So we have that nice safety lock holding it down. Nice use of the high polish as well. Okay, absolute gorgeous use of blue, and there's 3 different ways. We have the nice light blue, sort of light blue on the bezel of the watch, a nice blue border around that programmable countdown, and the blue sword steel hands all finishing up together, contrasting very nicely with the white on the dial, and making use of small red accents to bring a little bit more visibility on the dial as well. Just absolutely gorgeous. So if you're interested in any of these models for the lowest possible price, check out our website at JazTime.com. It's the lowest price is guaranteed. We offer a 1-year warranty. And if you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe below. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at JazTime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.